So I'm a huge Borderlands fan, and when I heard about the movie, I was really excited. Then I heard it was live action, and while I was still excited, I was also nervous because, you know, that has a history of going wrong real fast. And then finally the cast was revealed!
Oh no!
Okay, so to start off from a fan standpoint, there are so many fundamental problems with this that it isn't even funny. But I'm assuming you clicked on this video because you already know most of the discourse that revolves around the writing and casting choices, how the actors are too old for the characters, and how the story seems to be butchering the content from the games. But what if you're not a fan? What if you've never heard of Borderlands until this trailer dropped? Would you still want to see the movie? I mean, it has a bunch of A-listers, it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy in the setting of Mad Max, so surely there's a lot of potential here and you'll want to see it, right? Well, I took a poll from my friends who are not fans, and the general consensus was...
You serious?
Everyone said something to the degree that this is clearly just a cash grab and nothing more, and honestly, the merch is not helping with that at all. So then, what is wrong? There's lots of conversation, of course, but I haven't seen anyone make this point yet, which I honestly believe is the main and most vital aspect to why it just looks so corny. And that's putting it lightly. Where is the dirt? Now, I ask this because it's vital that what you're trying to convey matches with what is being conveyed. If your story isn't mostly believable, then it's going to leave viewers questioning why it was even made in the first place if no sense of logic is being used. Watching the trailer, there's a significant amount of bright objects and choices that just don't make sense if you're saying this takes place on a desert planet. But the games are bright. Okay, but we're not recreating the games. This isn't animation, this is live action. And as I mentioned earlier, we have Mad Max as a preset for our expectations. Hell, Star Wars and Dune also establish good representation of life on a desert planet. The crews of these movies look like they did actual research with some creative freedom, which then, when it gets translated to the audience, looks plausible and authentic. These crews had passion. I just cannot, based on the trailer, say the same for Borderlands. I hate to say this, but it honestly looks more like people in cosplay with low budgets, thus having to cut corners to produce a quality project for the budget. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. Unless you're a billion-dollar company investing millions into this. You have the money, but there's no passion, there's no believability, which then makes this come off as a cash grab. I mean, just look at this still shot alone. That is a porta potty. I have seen worse ones at concerts. And this is supposed to be the wasteland. Where is the graffiti, the stains, the bullet holes? But okay, I hear you. Maybe it was dropped into the waste recently. I mean, the buildings in the back seem to look right, so maybe there's hope? But not really, because again, while you can make the same excuse that this car has recently been dropped into the waste, it looks pristine. I don't know if any of you have gone dirt biking or taken a car into the desert, hell, driven on gravel, but there's one thing you learn real fast. That gets everywhere. Assuming the car has been, you know, speeding through dirt and sand while in a chase, there is not nearly enough dirt on it. I know people who would look at that and still cook an egg on the hood, no pan needed. Now this shot, much better. The car behind Tina is dirt caked, which is perfect, and it should stay like that for the entire movie. Even the small objects have problems. Tina, where did you get that teapot? The thing looks brand spanking new, and I've seen what your place looks like. Half the things in this scene should not be that bright. When objects don't seem native to the setting, they stick out like a sore thumb. And if what you're setting up is a post-apocalyptic world, especially one with lots of guns, car chases, and fire, then you have to design your sets to look like they belong there, unless you're purposely trying to make it look like they're from somewhere else. This shot is really what killed all hope for me. I mean, look at it and tell me it doesn't look like CGI. So guess my surprise when I see set photos with real structures. And these ones look good, okay? But that's probably because they're real. They actually built these. This does not look real. I cannot conceivably think of this as real. Why does the light look so weird? Here is an actual junkyard photo. The light is playing entirely differently. And yes, the sun's probably in a different position in the sky, but my point still stands. It's all flat, as if the structure wouldn't be riddled with dents. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, how did they stack this without the cars on the bottom bending? Keep in mind, this is how cars are stacked normally, but these aren't normal cars. Okay, did they drive off a cliff and smash together? Buckle would still occur. It just looks so fake and green screened in that it throws me off and takes me out of the world. It is so very important to get the setting correct, because that helps to sell the story. I've seen people with less than $100 make better sets, or even CGI things in better. Can you imagine what would Mad Max look like if you had a bunch of new Cybertrucks as their vehicles? Would Fallout be the same if everyone lived in just a slightly dilapidated neighborhood? Would Gotham City be Gotham City if it was clean and got some sun? No, because then it'd be Metropolis!
Think, Mark, think!
This movie is saying that Pandora is a horrible, messy, bloody, scrapped up, dust-ridden, awful place to live. But if so many objects look new, or maybe like 5 years in the dirt at best after 20 years, then I don't think it's too shabby. Hell, Gary, Indiana looks worse than this. And the costuming? Somehow that is even worse. Claptrap looks good. The Tiny Tina, she's clean. Roland's clean. Tanis is clean. This chick standing next to Marcus is clean. Like, seriously, girl, where in Pandora did you get that? Was it shipped and kept in plastic and you only decided to wear it for the special occasion? And Krieg? Oh, my boy Krieg, I love you to death, but I know for a fact that this guy has been living in the waste, showers in the rain and muddy water, and stinks to all hell, but this guy has showered recently, like a freshie on the first day at Wasteland Weekend. He probably even uses deodorant. His pits smell better than New Yorkers on the subway. Ironically, the other psychos all look fantastic, like they belong. That's the dirt that I'm looking for. And I'm not even going to address the wigs. They address themselves. And if that's natural hair, whew, the hairdressers needed to stop 2 spray bottles ago. You're making a live action movie, not trying to replicate the game. Otherwise there'd be lines on everyone and the casting would be better and the script wouldn't be so sh**.
Leave me alone!
Okay, maybe the script would still be sh**, but at least it would look better. But just like it's important for the setting to sell the story, the characters and their wardrobes sell the story even more. Like, how am I supposed to believe that this is your bad guy? He's clean and manicured, pristine, and sticks out like a sore thumb. You know who else is clean and manicured and sticks out? Our main cast. With clothes, you can tell a story. Let's just look at Fallout for a second. Between these 3, if you know nothing about them, you can guess the story pretty well. The chick probably gets thrust out of a comfortable life and into his world, where she has to learn to adapt and get dirty. Meanwhile, Big Bad here is probably hunting them down for some reason or another. The problem with a clean protagonist and a clean villain is that they look to be on equal standing in their day-to-day struggles. Whether or not it's fair, we have an association of the dirtier someone is, the harder their life must be, because they don't have the means by which to access amenities such as baths, air conditioning, hell, a toothbrush. So if this is a story about rebelling against an oppressive regime instated by a money-hungry capitalist who believes in sacrificing workers so he can piss in a toilet made of solid gold, then I can't buy it. The protagonists don't look like they live that life. And the thing is, that's mostly what Borderlands is about. The first one was about getting to the vault before Atlas so that the corporation didn't, gain the vault's power and take over the world and oppress everyone as they're known to do. The second one was about getting to the vault before Hyperion so that the corporation didn't, gain the vault's power and take over the world and oppress everyone as they're known to do. And the third Borderlands was about beating two terrible streamers to all of the vaults so that they can't gain more power and use it for... I honestly don't even remember, but knowing that their internet fame is probably some heinous acts involving kids. Rebellion and guns and humor are a key part of the Borderlands franchise, but based on the trailer and the way things look, I just cannot see it in this movie. So what can be done to fix it? Well, nothing now, but the way that I would have done it, I would have taken the same direction as Fallout and Edgerunners. Do not use the canon characters. You can get away with it if it's animated, but live action, it doesn't matter who you cast. Unless they look uncannily like the characters, it's not going to work. Besides, original stories set in the same world do a great job of expanding the universe and encouraging fans to see themselves in new characters. Secondly, I'd get people who, actually care about the series in on it, or at least people who do 2 seconds of research to know what a post-apocalyptic world and the people in it would look like. And Ryan Reynolds to play the games and then direct it. And if we're putting Handsome Jack in there, to also act in it. I mean, look at this. He's got the face, he's got the humor, the acting skills. But besides that, thirdly, most obviously, as it's what this video is about, I would strand everyone in the middle of the desert for a few days with only the essentials, not wash those clothes, and then have them wear it for recording. No CGI on the sets, except where absolutely necessary, and let the crew and stunt actors go ham on destruction in the sets to give it a realistic look. But as it stands right now, I cannot see this movie succeeding because I can't buy that it's happening in a wasteland. But who knows? It's not out yet. I could be wrong. Wait, what? New trailer just dropped. Oh shit, okay, let me see.
Nobody kills me but me!
What the fuck did they do to my Krieg?
I'm the conductor of the poop train!